Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
They come to my house and I ask for photo identification. They refuse to provide any. They're like a little goon squad. They don't have any real identification. They're wearing black clothing. They flashed a blue badge in front of my window that looked like a badge you could buy off Amazon. And they, then they just come up to my window and take my picture and stick the ticket through my door.
Today I'm going to introduce you to Justin Reinicke. Now he's another one of the, I guess, victims of the authoritarian microstate of Steinbach, Manitoba. Now we've been covering the lockdown in Steinbach, Manitoba from the very beginning. And we've also been covering the resistance to that lockdown, from the churches to their allies who believe in religious freedom and the right to protest the government, and people who believe that you don't fight a virus by taking away civil liberties. I think per capita between Steinbach, Winnipeg, and Winkler, Manitoba has to be one of the most tyrannical lockdown jurisdictions in all of North America. Justin Reinicke is one of those Manitoba people who received a hefty lockdown fine for simply protesting the government's decision to lock him down. Take a listen. Justin, what were you doing when you got your coronavirus lockdown ticket?
Yeah, so I would attended the Steinbach Freedom Rally in Steinbach, Manitoba, in support of the rally, as I faced a lot of discrimination over the period of the lockdown, as I have a medical exemption and I can't wear a mask because I have breathing difficulties. And a lot of the stores I've gone into, I've had to really fight for my rights and been chased around the store. I've been threatened. I've been actually attacked by a store worker, had my cell phone slapped out of my hands even. So I've had to file 3 human rights complaints over the last period of time, since the lockdown has began. And it's just been really difficult. And I just feel like these are the only way to kind of get our voice out there, and at least in some sort of way to try and wake up the public about what's going on.
And so you attended the rally, which a lot of people did. But so how did you get the ticket, and what is the ticket specifically for? Yeah,
so the ticket, they ended up coming about 2 weeks later to my house. So what happened is, in the one video I sent you, I was actually making a joke with one of the health officers who was taking photos of the protesters. I was like, "Oh, you're getting some photos for the event for a memory, right?" And not realizing they were actually taking photos of us to take our license plates and then use our Manitoba public insurance information to find us, at least the household, and then use photos of our driver's license to identify us and then hand us a ticket. So as in the video you see, they come to my house and I ask for photo identification. They refuse to provide any. They're like a little goon squad. They don't have any real identification. They're wearing black clothing. They flashed a blue badge in front of my window that looked like a badge you could buy off Amazon. And they, then they just come up to my window and take my picture and stick the ticket through my door.
And that's crazy, but I guess that's because Pallister has deputized a lot of people who were not bylaw officers to suddenly become bylaw officers to issue this whole spate of tickets. And I think the Winkler Steinbach area seems to be the worst place per capita in North America for issuing these coronavirus tickets. I've got so many tickets from there for people that I'm helping. Your ticket, I guess it was the standard nearly $1,300 Manitoba lockdown ticket.
Yes. And they've attended my house a total of 5 times since that time, as I think they had mistakes on it. And with my doorbell camera, I've actually been able to catch how many people they've sent. One time they sent almost 8 people to my house, including our CMP, to try and hand me a ticket. And if you added up their salaries, that's more than the ticket's probably worth. And I sent you some of those videos, and you'll see that it's amazing the amount of resources they're putting towards trying to hand tickets to people for exercising your charter freedoms.
Yeah, it's good work if you can get it, I guess. I mean, nobody's working in Manitoba right now. You guys are in a hard lockdown. But if you work for the government issuing tickets to normal people for doing completely normal things that are protected in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, I guess you've never been busier. Justin, I want to ask you one more thing. Is this going to deter you from continuing to speak out against the lockdown?
No, it's not. I think it's important right now where we're at. We're at that tipping point of almost a year of this, or actually a year of this now, with Kian's new video finding out that this started in October 2019. I think people need to start waking up and get off the mainstream media, looking the information for ourselves, do the research, and use your voice, whatever way that is. After the rally, what I had done is I had actually gone and investigated the hospital myself, taken a video of the weight screen and made a YouTube video. That video got almost 10,000 views, and it was removed from YouTube for violating the content of criticizing the local government and their way they work with the pandemic. So the information's out there and people want it. It's just a matter of trying to get it to them. And that's kind of what started me on this journey of speaking out as much as I can and using my voice.
Well, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you are, because you've provided me with so much video footage of what's been happening to you. You're really a citizen journalist, and I think so many people have become citizen journalists during the lockdown. And for people who are flipping on their camera and recording law enforcement as they're cracking down on people for, again, exercising their constitutional rights, those video recordings have really helped people as their court cases proceed. For example, Walter Matheson in Hampton, New Brunswick, very sharp old fella, flipped on his camera and caught the cop being abusive to him when he was issuing the coronavirus ticket. Now, Justin, I'm going to extend the same offer to you that we extend to everybody else. I don't want you to pay this ticket. I want you to plead not guilty, and I want you to fight it in court. And to help you do that, we're going to put you in touch with a top criminal lawyer at no cost to you. We're going to crowdfund your legal fees through fightthefines.com. It's going to cost way more than your ticket to fight the ticket, but we think that protecting civil liberties, there's no value too great when it comes to protecting freedom. What do you have to say about that?
That'd be amazing. And I think that's the way we have to fight these, is in the courts and try to make them wake up. It's unacceptable what they're doing, attacking families and businesses and small businesses and ruining what people have worked so hard to build. And, you know, this is our only outlet. And I really thank you and Rebel News for all the work that you've been doing, as independent journalism and citizen journalism, I think, is the way of the future. As people are starting to realize what the mainstream media has been doing to propagandize media, and it's people are starting to realize, and I think that's what people are catching on to, you know, with all the work you guys are doing. So thanks again, and I will definitely pleading not guilty to these tickets. And yeah, thank you again for all the work you're doing.
You heard it here. We're helping Justin fight that fine at no cost to him at fightthefines.com. We're putting him in touch with a top criminal lawyer to fight his fine in court. And if you'd like to help us help Justin and defend civil liberties, you can donate at that same website, fightthefines.com. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you've received a lockdown ticket, don't pay it. Fight it. Send it to us at fightthefines.com, and we'll put you in touch with a top criminal lawyer at no cost to you. And if you'd like to help us crowdfund the legal costs to bring back civil liberties in the time of the pandemic, you can do that too at that special website, fightthefines.com.